What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So to all my new subscribers, thank you guys so much. We will have some more Jeep content coming, but it will be on a different Jeep. So I will drop some clips on another video. I did end up selling the YJ, but I did sell the YJ without the wheels, and I sold the wheels separately, then I sold the tires separately. But in this video, as you can tell, it's pretty early. I'm kind of a little tired. And I got Versailles with me. And he's got his big truck. Show me a big truck, Versailles. Whoa. So we bought him one of the KTM big trucks and trailers from Cycle Gear yesterday. And just to let you guys know, we are back in the sports quad world. I ended up buying a 2006 TRX 450. I drove about 4 hours to get it about a week ago. I haven't cleaned it. I haven't ordered parts for it, but I haven't done anything to it, just because I like to. I like for you guys to see things like exactly how they are, exactly how they came from the past individual. So you know anything that I do to it further, then you know like the work that I've put into it. I don't plan on racing it. You know, it's just gonna be something that I can hop on and hit the trails. I'd love to set up a trip to go to the dunes. I don't know if I'd rather take a trip and go to Oregon dunes or out there in California, but we'll talk more about that. I'm about 5 minutes away from where the four-wheeler is, and once we get there, I'll do a walk around. And again, I want to say thanks to all my new subscribers. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. And I hope you guys are also into racing quads, because I mentioned that that's what we also, support on this page, on this channel. So just give me a few seconds and we'll be at the fun. Good morning. I just kind of gave you guys a little briefing just a second ago, but I'm actually standing right here and looking right at the four-wheeler. First off, I want to say I got this quad for a great deal, but it does have a few problems. On average, a nice sports quad, any 450, I believe you're going to spend in the $3,000 to $3,500 up to $5,500 range. And sometimes those quads don't even be in the best of shape. It's just the fact that there either is a limited amount in your area, or you're gonna have to travel to go get it, and there's still gonna be things you're gonna have to fix on it. So to have gotten this quad for the price that I did, I believe it was a great price, and it was definitely worth the drive. So I'm gonna pull the cover off. We're gonna do a walk around, which you can see right here because I keep it covered up. And I'm gonna go over some of the things that I have already gotten for it, some things that we plan on doing to it, and then we may start setting up trips and different rides and stuff. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and get this cover pulled off. All right, guys, so as you see, this is a 2006 TRX 450. Of course, that's gonna stand out immediately, but again, we're gonna go over some of the things that are gonna have to be done. 2006 TRX 450 ER. If you didn't know, this is the year that they changed. So the 04 and the 05 had a different engine displacement and setup, and this was the engine that got revamped all the way up into the 14 model. Whoever had it definitely did some type of like endurance racing, or like the long trail racing, to have the bigger fuel tank. It was also said that this bike has been bored over and is running the Monster pipe. Says it's full exhaust, which I do believe, because Monster pipe does do all black exhaust. And you can see right here, which is also common on these, is for the plastics to melt from the extreme heat of the exhaust pipe. And I thought these were the new plastics, which they look like it, and I'll reveal that later, but it seems like I'm gonna have to order a new hood, recut the holes for the key switch, the neutral switch, and the heat switch, or the heat light, and I'm gonna need to replace these. But, you know, overall, I mean, the motor seemed to be in decent condition. When I got there, the first thing I stepped on, of course, was this, and it fell down like that, and the guy was like, oh man, I didn't know that. It looks like that just happened. And I'm like, just come on, man. You know, guys, if you're out here selling these sports quads, try to be transparent with people, because I drove 4 hours to go get this bike, and it's not that I probably wouldn't have bought it, but it's like, come on, man, like, we got to have some type of genuine conversation, and let's just be transparent with each other, you know. But that's broken right there. The wheel bearings in the front seem to be in decent condition on both ends. But back here though, look at that. So we are not going to be riding like that at all. This thing's gonna need a bearing carrier, and I've been debating if I want to go ahead and do the bearing carrier and a new axle with the sprocket holder and stuff. It already has the LSR park and brake block off, and it's got the TMD, well, the TM Designs chain guide, so that's really cool. Get to take that off, clean that, new sprocket, new chain, new front sprocket, bearing carrier, axle. So the battery, I think the battery's in decent condition, but we got to get this stuff like this, like, mounted back up, man. I can't be riding with that swinging and banging in the trails. Of course, the rear grab bar has been snapped, whether it's from being flipped or doing wheelies on the street or whatever. So that would definitely need to be fixed. Also on this side, if you look, it's got a crack right there, the tip of the frame. So I am going to take it to a local weld shop, because if you can see, the weld is actually broken. Take it to a local weld shop, and get them to weld this back, and you know, get that smooth, cleaned up looking. New rear grab bar, because this is not gonna work if it doesn't even, you know, have any support, guys, but you guys know that. And I'm going to get them to, I was going to get him to take this off and weld this to fix it, but honestly, I'm probably just going to buy new Nerf bars, because like I said, I really want this thing really nice and cleaned up. I'm going to ride the tires for a little while. I believe the tires are in decent condition, but I noticed this also has the Tusk radiator cap that also shows the temperature on there. Pretty sure the guy checks on that while he's running through trails and stuff. And this is air filter cover, which I know this is aftermarket cover, which is really nice actually. But he is running a, well, he was, I am now, the outerwear pre-filter. So this thing's definitely getting some good amount of air. The bike is a pretty decent bike, guys. But as you can see, you're seeing it as is. Let's see, put it down there, snap there. Let's go over some of the things that I have right now. Again, this is a little quick walk around. Sit up a little higher. Guys, in about 2 months, I would have ran through this bike, and we would have gotten quite a bit of things done. So like I said, I'm gonna walk over and show you guys what I already have gotten for it. and some things that we are going to be doing shortly. Okay, so first thing first, you never know what someone did last, and you never really want to pick up riding a bike hard after you've just purchased it used. You really want to set yourself up to go ahead and do your first oil change. So we're gonna change the oil. We're gonna change the gear fluid. Keep some SC1 because we're going to be using bleach white on the entire bike. I don't really care about the plastics because I already have the rear fender, and we are gonna order the front fender. But of course we got the filter, gotta have that. New spark plug because you want to keep some fresh fire. And I actually have the box over here. I skipped the whole part. This bike needs a starter. So when I went to go get it to test drive it, I actually had to bump start it just to get it going. And so yeah, I bought a starter from Cycle Gear, and this thing was, someone said I could have rebuilt it, but hey, I might as well get a new one. That thing was $150 or like $160, some crazy amount. And I use dish soap when cleaning the bike with the bleach white because they're really strong degreasers. And any like crevice or whatever, I always use an old toothbrush because, guys, I really like to get these bikes as clean as possible before I have to start like getting, taking stuff down to either get it like powder coated or something. Because like I said, man, I plan on keeping this bike. I plan on keeping it. They're getting too hard to find. They're getting too expensive to purchase. So if you were to find one in this price, and I don't know if I mentioned, but I paid $2,500 for this bike. I have never bought a 450 at that price point that didn't have significant damage. I think the last one I bought, the axle was bent and a few other things were broken, so for this one I could hop on it now and go ride it. Would it be a great idea? Probably not, because like I said, there's things that I want to do to it right now, and I'm not in a hurry to start riding. But once I do start riding, guys, we're gonna make sure she's right. So what I'm gonna do is go back over, do one walk around, and then I'm gonna set the camera up time lapse, and man, I'm gonna get this baby cleaned on up. This is a little quick walk around. This is before the cleaning, and I want you guys in the comments to tell me, did you actually see a difference in how it looks after I finish cleaning it? You can be honest with me. Again, these plastics, I already have the new one. This one was, that piece was almost $300. It's candy red. I mean, it's brand new. Honda still makes those, still has those plastics in stock. So I have that brand new. So just disregard that. I'm gonna clean this one up, spray it down with SC1. I'm sure it's still gonna be very faded compared to the new one, but we'll get that ordered up. So that's no big deal. But yeah, guys, let me get it rolled over here so we can get to work. All right, guys, as you can see, she is cleaning up pretty good. And like I said, the reason I'm using Blackmagic is because one, this stuff is really cheap. This was like $8. Yes, they have ATV wash, which is a degreaser, but as you may know, if you use it, it's literally $27. I could buy 2 of these for the price you'd buy that one, and it would do the exact same thing. I've used it before when I worked at a motorsport shop, and yeah, it does work good, but there's nothing that this couldn't get off that stuff does. So I sprayed all over the engine, the frame, plastics. When you get new plastics, I probably wouldn't spray it on there. I'm just spraying it, guys. I mean, once I get my new plastics on, I'm gonna just use a nice wash, like ATV wash, to get it cleaned up. But as you can see, as you just saw earlier, it is a lot cleaner now. So I'm gonna walk around this, spray this down, hit a couple spots with the toothbrush, and yeah, we'll do one more walk around, and then we're gonna end this video. The next video will be us replacing these plastics. I'm gonna wait on those because I think after I spray those with SC1, they will look a lot brighter. Replacing those, well, that rib part, sprocket, chain, band carrier, axle. We'll start there. I'll be taking the Nerf bars off and just going with one fat peg until I can get some of those Wraith Nerf bars. One, they're expensive. Two, they're out of stock. We will be putting the starter on that next video, and after the starter, oil change, spark plug, cleaning the air filter. So it'll probably be a couple more weeks, man, before we get to actually riding this thing. Until the end, y'all just stay tuned, man. We're gonna get it cleaned up again. I don't ever mention how much I pay for my bikes because I'm a big reseller, but I paid $2,500 for this quad, guys. I couldn't believe it. I was surprised that it even started up. Yes, $2,500. It runs. All it needs is a starter, which I said I bought the starter. This bike it's a really nice bike, guys. So again, thank you so much for watching the video. I'll do one more walk around. Peace. All right, guys, and if you have stuck around for this end of this video, I surely appreciate you guys. SC1 will turn any fading looking bike to a nice and glossy one. Now, if your black plastics are truly weathered, it's not going to do too much. But if you were listening in this video, I've already bought brand new plastics. I just have to replace the rear. I care more about the front ones because I'd rather not replace the front ones. And as you can see, they are a big difference. So I may get away with just keeping those how they are now and keeping some nice, spray on them. But this is the final walk around before the next video, which will consist of oil change. Let's see what I said: oil change, spark plug being replaced, rear plastics being replaced, starter being replaced, new chain, new axle, new bearing carrier, new sprockets, and guys, we're just gonna keep going from there. Instead of replacing the handlebars, you can just buy a new Pro Taper pad. That's just if yours came with bars. That's what I'm gonna do because it's pointless to spend unnecessary money. But again, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, we have some more content on the way. Please, guys, send us to people, like, share, subscribe. I'd love to hit 1,000 subscribers before the year's out. Everything that I'm doing is costing a lot of money, and of course, if you guys know, I have a son, and so sometimes, I have to take a pause to get some things handled. But again, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Peace.